Hello everyone, you have come to Tata Comic Preview channel. Let read together. Have fun. This is an art collage novel video. I made this series so you guys can experience the story faster. The video will focus on the character's psychology, the images are for illustration purposes only. Huang Shiji's sudden attack caught Wuya off guard. He retreated to the side and gave them some space. Zhenghai was in no hurry. He was calm as he stood with his back straight. His left arm was on his back as he parried the attacks with his right hand. Bam! 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 Huang Shiji continued attacking with his palms. The afterimages and their radiance were dazzling. Despite the high-speed attacks, Zhenghai dealt with them easily and calmly. Huang Shiji was flying horizontally now. His attacks grew faster and faster, stirring up a gust of wind and leaves. The disciples from Penglai Island stood near the flying chariot and did not interfere. They merely observed in silence. Similarly, the members of the Nether Sect observed in silence as well. It was enjoyable to watch elites battle, after all. From the landing point of the flying chariot, Huang Shiji kept attacking. Zhenghai retreated as he parried the blows. When he was at the edge of the steps, he raised his palm. His hand suddenly enlarged. Earthshaker. An energy saber seemed to appear out of Zhenghai's palm before it turned into the shape of a crescent moon. He brought the blade down. Boom. Huang Shiji had to stop his attacks. He flipped backward and landed on his feet. The battle ended. Both opponents barely used 20% of their strengths. This was not even a warm-up. Even so, the outcome was clear. Huang Shiji said with a smile, "I'm surprised to see that your cultivation base has improved further. I can say the same about you. What's the matter? Am I not welcome here?" Huang Shiji asked. Zhenghai laughed. "I can't be happier to see you. Come inside." They entered the Great Hall. Inside the Great Hall, Zhenghai addressed Huang Shiji and said, "This is my wise brother, Wuya." Wuya cupped his fists and said, "Greetings, senior." Huang Shiji nodded in approval. "I've heard about the evil sky pavilions, Mr. 7th, Wuya. You're in charge of the Darknet and have an information network that spans the land under the heavens. Your sources are everywhere, around the Emperor and also among the common folk. Now that I've met you, I see that you live up to your reputation." "You flatter me, senior," Wuya replied. At this moment, Shenliangshou carried a brocade box and walked over as he said, "This is the lotus-severing survival pills that Senior Huang requested the Yuan'er sect to refine." He presented the brocade box with both hands. Zhenghai took the brocade box and placed them on the table. Shenliangshou was a loyal fan of the Evil Sky Pavilion. Ever since the battle at Liang Province, the person he wanted to meet the most was the Evil Sky Pavilion's first disciple. Now that he was presented with such a wonderful opportunity, he would not let it slip past his fingers. He had to keep himself in check in case he lost control and showered Zhenghai with flatteries. As he looked at Zhenghai, as expected. "What did you expect?" Zhenghai did not seem to mind Shenliangshou's words. "You're as majestic, big, and tall as I've imagined." "As expected of the Evil Sky Pavilions, Mr. First," Shenliangshou said with a hint of awe. "Reward him." Zhenghai waved his hand. A Nether Sect disciple beckoned Shenliangshou over to receive his reward. Shenliangshou took a few steps backward and said with a smile, "Thank you very much." The moment he retreated, Huang Shiji said, "I heard that the Evil Sky Pavilion's master has already attained the 9-leaf stage a long time ago?" "That's right." Zhenghai did not withhold the information from him. After all, the more powerful the Evil Sky Pavilion was, the more fearful people would be of it. "By the way, you may not believe me, Sect Master Yu," Huang Shiji calmly said, "however, when I passed by the Heaven Worship Platform, north of Jing Province, I ran into a 9-leaf elite." Upon hearing this, Wuya widened his eyes in shock. He was the first to react. A 9-leaf elite? My master went to the Heaven Worship Platform? Huang Shiji shook his head and said, "It wasn't your master." Zhenghai frowned. There was another nine-leaf elite? He was almost invincible as he swept his way through the empire because he was a peak 8-leaf elite. His peers might not even be able to defeat him. Only his master, Ji Tiandao, could subdue him. Now that there was another 9-leaf cultivator, did this not mean his plan might fail at the final and crucial moment? He asked, "Who is it?" Shen Liangshou, who had returned to the Great Hall after obtaining the reward money, chimed in, "Mr. First, I can attest to that. The person's surname is Liu. I don't think anyone knows about his origins, seeing that he's a recluse elite. The leader of the Nether Sect's 4 great protectors, Hua Chongyang, was at the heaven worship platform as well. You can verify this with him when he returns." His surname's Liu? Zhenghai's expression was grim. Things were getting complicated. They could not even determine if that 9-leaf elite was a friend or a foe. At this moment, at least, he did not seem like a friend. Huang Shiji said with a sigh, "I didn't expect another 9-leaf cultivator to emerge so fast after we enter the Lotus Severing era. Do you know where the man's current location is, Brother Shiji?" Zhenghai asked. Huang Shiji shook his head, "I don't dare question such an elite." Zhenghai was visibly disappointed. Shen Liangjia said, "The first seat of the Azure Dragon Hall seemed to be acquainted with 9-leaf Liu. There's a young girl with them as well. The girl who knows the tongue and tune of beasts." Si Wuya said. "Is that why you sent your subordinate to the heaven worship platform? To retrieve this girl, sect master you?" Huang Shiji asked in confusion. "That's right. That girl is gifted in tune and can command beasts. If we have her help, Jing province will be in the bag." "What a shame." Zhenghai lamented. "I see," Huang Shiji said. "Brother Shiji, you've been living in seclusion on Penglai Island for a long time. Now that the 9 provinces are in chaos, why don't you seize this opportunity and lend me a helping hand?" Huang Shiji did not agree to Zhenghai's request immediately. Deep down, he wanted to make Penglai Island more secular. Otherwise, he would not have protected a minor sect such as the Koryang sect, nor would he leave Penglai and come to the Nether Sect's territory. All he needed was a chance. If he agreed to the proposal prematurely, he would be selling himself short. Zhenghai said in a powerful and resonating voice, "If you help us, Brother Shiji, Penglai will become the greatest sect in the future, and there'll be a place for Penglai in the divine capital." "Deal," Huang Shiji replied. Zhenghai smacked the table and said in a clear voice, "Men." "Yes, sect master. I wish to hold a banquet to welcome Brother Shiji," Zhenghai said. "Congratulations," Shang Liangshou said loudly as he cupped his fists. Si Wuya did not expect things to proceed so smoothly. He stood up and walked to Zhenghai's side. He was about to speak when Zhenghai patted his shoulder and said, "Wise brother, you must be tired. You should go ahead and rest. I'll take care of the rest." "Eldest senior brother. Don't worry, I know what I'm doing." Zhenghai's face was flushed, clearly in high spirits. The atmosphere in the Great Hall was merry when a disciple hurried into the hall. "Sect Master, the Azure Dragon Hall's first seat has returned. Bring him here," Zhenghai said. The people of the Penglai sect looked outside the Great Hall. The sun had already set at this time, so they could only vaguely make out 3 figures slowly walking toward them. When the lights from the Great Hall shone on the 3 individuals, the entire Great Hall immediately became as silent as a graveyard. An old man could be seen holding the hand of a young lady who looked like a fairy. Hua Chongyang, on the other hand, walked at the back as though he was an attendant. Since the people from Penglai sect had seen the old man before, they knew who he was. For a time, they stood in stunned silence as they looked at the old man. "We meet again." Lu Zhou was the first to break the silence. Lu Zhou's "we meet again" pulled everyone back to the present. Shen Liangshou was rather quick-witted. He was the first to rush up to Lu Zhou and bowed as he said, "Greetings, Senior Lu. I didn't expect to meet you here." Lu Zhou ignored Shen Liangshou. He calmly looked at Zhenghai, who was seated in the Great Hall. This was the first Evil Sky Pavilion's disciple. Then, he saw his seventh disciple, Wuya, seated to Zhenghai's left. Huang Shiji rose to his feet immediately and bowed along with the Penglai sect disciples. He said, "Greetings, Senior Liu." "Rise." Liu Zhou waved his hand. At this moment, Zhenghai and Wuya stood up, wariness apparent in their eyes. Both of them studied Liu Zhou, wondering who he was. Since Huang Shiji accorded such respect to him, they did not dare to neglect their manners. Both of them cupped their fists together at Liu Zhou. They did not beat around the bush and asked in unison, "Where are you from, senior?" Liu Zhou could no longer say he was from Penglai. How could he use that excuse again? However, before Liu Zhou could reply, Hua Chongyang stepped forward from behind, bowed at Zhenghai, and said, "Sect Master, Senior Liu has lived in seclusion for many years in a mountain and seldom concerns himself with the trivial affairs of the world. The person beside him is Miss Conk from the Heaven Worship Platform." Liu Zhou did not care if Hua Chongyang helped him explain his origins. After all, he finally met Zhenghai. Miss Conk's appearance shocked Zhenghai and Wuya slightly. They looked at her. For a time, they could not understand what their relationship was. Hua Chongyang immediately bowed again before he walked to Zhenghai's side. He whispered into his ear and recounted the day's events. When Zhenghai heard there was a possibility of a nine-leaf elite joining his cause, his eyes widened in surprise. He smiled immediately and said, "So, it's Senior Liu. We're honored to have you visit the Nether Sect, Senior Liu. Please have a seat." Liu Zhou led Miss Conk into the hall and sat down. "Are you the Nether Sect's Zhenghai?" Liu Zhou asked. Zhenghai said in a slightly smug tone, "Yes. I've studied in the Evil Sky Pavilion. My master is Ji Tiandao. He's also a nine-leaf expert like you." Upon hearing this, Shen Liangshou said in a fawning manner, "That's right, Sect Master Yu. The Evil Sky Pavilion's master is truly a heroic figure of the times. The sun and moon pale in comparison to his nine-leaf avatar. Sect Master Yu is the Evil Sky Pavilion's first disciple and controls the greatest fiend sect under the heavens. Now that the 9 provinces are in chaos, the Nether Sect merely act as the situation calls for. We will surely restructure the rivers and the mountains." Liu Zhou turned around and looked at Shen Liangshou. "Is Ji Tiandao that powerful?" Something stirred in Zhenghai's heart. He noticed the old man's wariness. A nine-leaf expert could only be kept in check by another expert of the same rank. Shen Liangshou eagerly replied, "The Evil Sky Pavilion's Patriarch is not only a nine-leaf expert, but he has 9 outstanding disciples as well. The youngest of them, Miss Ninth, Xia Yuan, entered the nascent divinity realm in just 5 years. I don't think anyone has ever managed this feat, and I don't think anyone ever will. Mr.'s first and Mr. Second are full-fledged 8-leaf cultivators. They're one easy step away from becoming 9-leaf cultivators." Zhenghai nodded in satisfaction. "I didn't reward you for nothing. You're quite glib. Keep on talking. If the 9 disciples are so outstanding, I wonder just how amazing the Evil Sky Pavilion's Patriarch is?" After praising his idol to the high heavens, he thought he should not just continue with the praises. He needed to say something to balance the praises and also to cast his Senior Liu in a better light. Talking was an art. If one could talk well, one would be able to reach great height. He continued to say, naturally, "You're an outstanding individual. Now that the Lotus Severing era is in full bloom, cultivators are pursuing the 9-leaf stage, and the major sects are working toward this at full force. Anyone who's at the forefront of the new era is surely an exceptional person. Moreover, you've been keeping a low profile for such a long time, Senior Liu, you must be really modest. In this aspect, old Senior Ji would do well to learn from you." Zhenghai chimed in, "It's true that my master likes attention. I hope everyone here doesn't mind." Liu Zhou frowned slightly. He now understood why the outside world would heap the blame of all the crimes the rascals committed on the Evil Sky Pavilion. Due to his disciples, his name was pushed to the top of the blacklist. When the Penglai Sect's Huang Shiji saw such a good opportunity to entice Lu Zhou to their cause, he said, "We've known each other a long time now, Sect Master Yu. Initially, I wanted to help you take down Jing Province, but if Senior Lu is willing to lend a hand, the Penglai Sect will willingly be under Senior Lu's command." Lu Zhou did not respond to them immediately. He looked at Wuya, who was next to Zhenghai, and asked, "What about you?" See, Wuya had been keeping mum all this while. Nobody knew what he was thinking. Lu Zhou allowed Si Wuya to leave the Evil Sky Pavilion because he wanted to see what choices Si Wuya would make. From the looks of things, Si Wuya seemed to have made up his mind. Si Wuya smiled and said, "Since you're here, Senior Lu, I'm sure you have something that you want as well. Let's hear your conditions." Everyone shifted their attention back to Lu Zhou again. Si Wuya was right. How could they have forgotten about this? Let alone Jing Province, if they had the help of a nine-leaf elite they would have a chance at taking down the divine capital. What conditions could satisfy such an individual? Something stirred in Yu Zhenghai's heart. He felt slightly nervous as he looked at this old man. "I want the whole world," Lu Zhou said. The others were shocked. Silence descended on the great hall. After a long pause, Yu Zhenghai said, "Senior Lu, surely, you're joking?" He had been working so long to conquer the world. To him, this nine-leaf Lu's words sounded hostile and grating. "My appetite and ambition have always been big," Lu Zhou said nonchalantly. "Senior Lu, your cultivation base is profound." "My master." The moment he said the words "my master," Lu Zhou placed his hand lightly on the table next to him. Crash. The table shattered immediately. The others jumped back in shock. Lu Zhou slowly rose to his feet. He looked at Yu Zhenghai and asked, "Are you worthy of mentioning your master?" Yu Zhenghai asked, "Why would you say that, Senior Lu?" The others furtively retreated back. They could sense an odd atmosphere in the air. The jasper saber on the saber holder inside the great hall was buzzing. Hua Changyang's expression changed. After all, he was the one who brought the old man here. How could his 8-leaf sect master defeat a 9-leaf cultivator? He fell to one knee and hastily said, "Please calm down, Senior Lu." Lu Zhou ignored him completely. He looked at Yu Zhenghai. His voice was low and brought with it a great pressure as he said, "You want the world, but I want the world as well. Why? Are you reluctant to give up on your ambitions?" Yu Zhenghai would never hand the fruits of his labor to someone else on a silver platter. Si Wuya said in a deep voice, "Senior Lu, are you going to make an enemy out of the Evil Sky Pavilion?" The Nether Sect disciples inside the great hall fanned out and drew their swords. Shen Liangshou's lips trembled slightly. Then, he said, "Senior Lu, please think this through. Who dared to make an enemy out of the Evil Sky Pavilion?" Lu Zhou asked, "So what if I am?" As soon as he said these words, the jasper saber shot out with a bang into Yu Zhenghai's hand at lightning speed.